You're 19 years old, and in less than 1 minute, your machine gun kills more men than most people will ever meet in their entire lives. Not soldiers anymore, just bodies falling into the water. And the terrifying part, at first, you don't even feel bad. Would you still pull the trigger if you knew those screams would follow you for the rest of your life? Germany, 1944. You're not a war hero. You're barely an adult. Your mother still treats you like a child. Your father fought in the last war, and he never talks about it. Then the letter arrives. Not a request, not a choice. An order. After World War I, the country was broken, millions dead, the economy collapsing, people starving, and many Germans believed they had been humiliated by the rest of Europe after the Treaty of Versailles. Then came a man promising to restore Germany's power, Adolf Hitler. He promised jobs, strength, pride, revenge, and millions followed him, not because all of them wanted war, but because desperate people are easy to control when they're promised hope. Germany began rebuilding its army, then invading other countries, Poland, France, parts of the Soviet Union. And by 1944, the war had become so massive that boys barely old enough to shave were being sent to defend Europe. Boys like you, at 19 years old, you didn't fully understand politics. You didn't create the war, but now you were trapped inside it. And that raises a terrifying question. How many soldiers in history were never evil, just young men born into the wrong time? You're going to Normandy. And at 19 years old, you convince yourself you'll survive. For months, you help build defenses along the Normandy coast. Steel traps, concrete bunkers, beach obstacles. At first, it feels like construction work. Then one day, you realize what these things are actually for. Not to stop men, to trap them, to slow them down long enough, for machine guns to tear them apart. That's when war stops feeling heroic and starts feeling industrial. Then they hand you the MG-42, a weapon so fast it doesn't even sound real. 1,200 rounds per minute, 20 bullets every second, fast enough to erase entire lines of men before they can react. The first time you fire it, the recoil nearly throws you backward. Your ears ring instantly. Your shoulder aches. The machine gun vibrates so violently, it feels alive in your hands. Then the instructors teach you something terrifying. The barrel overheats so quickly, you have to replace it constantly, because after enough firing, the metal glows red. Smoke rises from it. Sometimes the air itself smells burnt. They teach you how to unlatch the side door, how to pull the burning barrel out with a tool, how to replace it in seconds before firing again. Fast, efficient, mechanical, like changing a part inside a factory machine. The first time you do it under pressure, you panic. Your hands slip, and the barrel touches your skin. The pain is instant, burned flesh. You scream, the others laugh. Because it happened to all of them too. Blisters form across your fingers. Small scars begin covering your hands. But after weeks of training, you stop reacting. You swap burning barrels without thinking. You reload automatically. Load, fire, change barrel, reload, fire again, over and over until the process feels more natural than fear itself. And maybe that's what truly changes you, not the killing, the repetition, because eventually the machine gun stops feeling like a weapon. It starts feeling like part of your body. June 5th, 1944. A violent storm crashes into the coast. Rain, wind, waves smashing against the shore. Your officers laugh. No invasion is happening in this weather. For the first time in weeks, you relax. Maybe tomorrow will never come, so you sleep. And it's the last peaceful sleep of your life. Dawn, you wake to sirens, bombers overhead, the earth shaking. Then you look toward the sea. and your blood freezes. Ships, thousands of them, an entire ocean covered in steel. More than 150,000 Allied soldiers are coming toward you, and suddenly you understand. This isn't a battle. It's the beginning of the end. Your officer gives one order. Wait. You grip the MG-42 tighter, but your hands won't stop shaking. Your breathing turns heavy, fast, sharp, like your lungs can't pull in enough air. Then you look toward the ocean again, and your body freezes. Ships, endless ships, destroyers, landing craft, battleships, the entire horizon covered in steel. Above them, aircraft roar across the sky, bombs falling in the distance, the ground trembling beneath your boots, and coming toward you are lakhs of Allied soldiers, an entire army crossing the sea just to reach this beach, just to reach you. For one horrible second, your mind stops working. You can't move. You can't think. Because no training prepared you for this. Not this many men, not this much noise, not this much death moving toward you all at once. The landing boats begin opening. American soldiers jump into the freezing water. Some drown instantly under the weight of their gear. Some scream orders, some pray. Some are so terrified they can barely move forward. And suddenly, you realize something terrifying. They're just boys too, just like you. Your finger rests on the trigger. Sweat drips down your face. Your heartbeat pounds so hard, you can hear it over the explosions. For a moment, you wonder if you even can pull the trigger at all. For a brief moment, your mind escapes somewhere else. What if you were never sent here? What if this war never happened? Maybe right now, you would still be home, helping your father, eating dinner with your mother, laughing with friends, living like a normal 19-year-old boy. Some are vomiting from fear. They look terrified, just like you are. Then the order comes. Fire! You pull the trigger, and the machine gun erupts. Men collapse instantly. Some don't even scream. Others disappear into the water. More keep coming, so you keep firing. Again. Eventually, you stop seeing faces. You stop seeing people. You only see movement, and movement becomes the enemy. The beach turns red. Bodies pile against obstacles. The invasion looks impossible. Everything you built, everything you trained for, is working. And for one terrible moment, you actually believe you can stop them. But the Allies keep coming. More boats, more soldiers, more bodies. No matter how many die, more replace them. And slowly, you realize the horrifying truth. You were never going to win. You were only delaying the inevitable. Then the naval guns start firing directly at your bunker. Concrete cracks. Sand explodes through the air. Men beside you are torn apart instantly. Your officer screams into the radio for help. No one answers, because there is no help coming. Germany is losing the war, and everyone here knows it. Your machine gun barrel burns red. You load the final ammunition belt. Tracer rounds light up your position. Every shot tells the enemy where you are, but you keep firing anyway. Not because you believe anymore, because stopping means thinking, and thinking means realizing what you've done. Eventually, the bunker falls silent. You are searching for ammo in bunker, Allied forces coming. You run, not like a soldier, like a terrified 19-year-old boy trying to survive. Then an American soldier finds you. You freeze. You expect him to shoot you. He doesn't. Ties your hands, and just like that, your war is over. But your punishment is only beginning. The prison camp is quiet. Too quiet. No gunfire, no explosions, just thoughts. And that's worse, because now you remember everything. The men in the water, the screaming, the bodies, the sounds your machine gun made every night. You hear them again? You wake up sweating, breathing hard, sometimes screaming, and the other prisoners pretend not to notice because they have nightmares too. Germany surrenders. You're finally released. You survived. That should feel like victory, but it doesn't, because part of you never left that beach. You walk back to your house. Your mother opens the door. At first she smiles, then she sees your eyes, and the smile disappears, because her son came home, but not the same son who left. Your father looks at you silently. He understands immediately, not because you tell him, because he's seen that look before. At dinner, nobody talks. The same table, same house, same family, but everything feels wrong. You survived the war, so why do you feel empty? Years pass, but D-Day never leaves you. You hear waves and remember bodies floating in the water. You hear fireworks and your hands start shaking. Sometimes you wake up believing you're still inside the bunker, still firing, still killing. You try to convince yourself it was war. I had no choice. But deep down, another voice keeps asking, how many mothers cried because of me? And no matter how old you become, you never escape that question. You survived D-Day. You survived the war. But mentally, part of you died at 19 years old, behind a machine gun, on a beach in Normandy, because war doesn't always kill you immediately. Sometimes it waits decades. And when you finally die years later, it isn't from bullets. It's from the memories you could never silence.